The air is thick with mystery. The ground beneath you is cold stone and dim torchlight flickers along the damp walls. A heavy wooden door stands before you, slightly ajar, while a narrow tunnel leads into darkness behind you. What will you do? You push the wooden door open and step inside. The room is lined with bookshelves filled with the ancient tomes. A grand desk sits in the center with a single candle burning beside an open book. As you step closer, the pages flutter and words appear. Knowledge is power, but secrets are dangerous. Have you ever seen these gamebooks, playable books where you can actually choose what happens next? There could be simple ones where you pick your path and maybe collect items in an inventory, but there are also more complex ones where you can fight or use magic. Gamebooks were the precursors to modern interactive fiction and even influenced the development of role-playing video games. I think it might be cool to implement something like that in Python. We are going to build an engine for text-based novels where you can play stories saved in a text file and easily create your own. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Pavel, I work in game development, and I'm a former graphics developer and researcher with a PhD in computer science. Now let's break down what we are building today. Our Gamebook engine will be a Python program that can read a specially formatted text file, present the story to the player, and allow them to make choices that affect the narrative flow. Here's what our engine will do. First, load a gamebook from a file. Second, display a section of a text to the player. Third, present choices and handle user input. And fourth, navigate between different sections based on player choices. Let's talk about how we'll structure our gamebook files. We need a format that's easy for humans to write and for our program to parse. Something like this. Each section starts with hash followed by a number. The text that follows is what the player will read, and any lines containing hash followed by the number represent choices the player can make. Now let's dive into the code. You can find the link to GitHub in the description. For now, I'm going to explain the main concepts using slightly simplified version. We'll start with the function that loads our gamebook. Here's what it does. It takes a plain text file, just a regular txt file, and reads it line by line. Each section starts with a line like #1, #2, and so on. These are our section markers, kind of like chapter headers in traditional book. But here, each one represents a point in the story the player might reach. The function begins by setting up a few things. A dictionary called section, which will store all the story parts. A variable called current section, to keep track of which section we are currently reading. And a list called current content, to collect all the lines of text within the section. Now, here's where it gets clever. As the call loops through each line in the file, it checks, is this line a section header? If it starts with a hash followed by a number like 3, then that's our cue. The function takes everything it's gathered so far and saves it under previous section number in the dictionary. Then it starts fresh, getting ready to collect lines for new section. If the line isn't a section header, it just gets added to the current section's content. That means you can write as much story as you want, multiple lines, dialogue, descriptions. It all gets bundled together and saved neatly. At the very end, just to be safe, the function saves the last section too, so nothing gets left behind. Finally, it returns the sections dictionary, a fully organized version of your gamebook, ready for the engine to use. Each section can now be accessed instantly by its number, which makes it super easy to build choices, navigation, and gameplay mechanics on top. It's simple but powerful. Next up, we need a way to identify the choices in each section. This is where regular expressions come in handy. This function is searching through our text for any hash followed by numbers. Every time it finds a match, it adds it to our list of choices. Let's analyze the regex pattern. The hash just matches a literal hash symbol. This is important because in our gamebook format, section numbers are always written like hash, number, 5, 12, and so on. Backslash D+, and brackets comes in. This is a capturing group. It grabs one or more digits. /D means any digit from 0 to 9. The plus means one or more of those digits. So altogether, find the hash symbol followed by one or more digits and capture just the number part. Now for the exciting part, the main game loop. This is where all our functions come together. First, we load a story using load gamebook, which organizes all the sections from a text file. We start the journey at section 1, just like flipping to the first page in a gamebook. Inside the main loop, we check if the current section exists. If not, we print an error and end the game. It means something is wrong with our story. Otherwise, we display the section with some nice formatting. then show the actual story text. Next, we use find choices to scan the text for section numbers, like #2 or #5. Those are our possible paths forward. If no choices are around, the story ends right there. But if there are choices, we list them and ask the player to pick one. If their input matches a valid section number, we jump there. If they type quit, the game exits gracefully. Otherwise, we prompt again until they choose a valid path. Finally, at the bottom, we prompt the player to enter a file name and then launch the adventure. Before we try to play a story, let's quickly go through the final code. First, we've got the load gamebook function. It reads the story file and builds a dictionary of sections. This version is more flexible. It accepts section markers like #1 or 1#, so you have some freedom in how you format your gamebook. It checks for those markers, grabs the section numbers, and saves the content until the next one appears. If anything goes wrong while loading, it catches the error and fails gracefully. Next, we got find choices, which uses a regular expression to scan the story text for choice references, like #2 or 5. The regex here finds a hash followed by one or more digits and captures just the number. That's how the engine knows what options the player can choose from. Then there's display text with choices, a neat little function that highlights the choices in the story. It uses re.sub to replace things like #4 to brackets 4, making options stand out clearly in the console. Finally, we have play gamebook, the main loop. It loads the file, starts at section 1, and keeps going as long as there are choices. It shows each section's text, highlights the options, and waits for the player's input. If they enter what a choice, it jumps to that section. If they type quit, the game exits nicely. Time to play! If you want to try the demo story 3 keys by yourself, pause the video and come back later, as this will contain spoilers showing you how to reach the good ending. The air is thick with mystery. The ground beneath you is cold stone, and dim torchlight flickers along the damp walls. A heavy wooden door stands before you, slightly ajar, while a narrow tunnel leads into darkness behind you. What will you do? Enter the wooden door. You push the wooden door open and step inside. The room is lined with bookshelves filled with ancient tomes. A grand desk sits in the center with a single candle burning besides an open book. As you step closer, the pages flutter and words appear. Knowledge is power, but secrets are dangerous. Read the book. You begin reading the book, and as you do, the candle flickers violently. The words shift before your eyes, forming your riddle. I'm always hungry. I must always be fat. The thing I touch will soon turn red. What am I? Say fire. As soon as you say fire, the book glows, and the candle's flame rises high. A hidden compartment in the desk slides open, revealing a silver key. Take the key. You pocket the silver key and exit the room. Return to hallway. We are back in section 1, choosing enter the wooden door again. Now, we are not going to read the book, but search the bookshelves. You scan the shelves and find a small locked box hidden behind a row of dusty books. It has an intricate engraving of an eye and no visible keyhole. Look for clues in the books. You search the books for clues and find an old journal with a sketch of the box. It describes a hidden latch at the base. You turn the box over and press a small indentation. The lid clicks open, revealing an ornate brass key. Take the brass key. You take the brass key and leave the room. Explore the tunnel. You carefully step into the dark tunnel. The air grows colder, and you hear distant dripping water. After a few steps, you see a faint blue glow ahead. As you approach, you realize it's a pedestal with a crystal orb resting on it. The orb pulses with an eerie light. Touch the orb. As soon as your fingers brush the orb, a surge of energy flows through you. Your vision goes dark, and when you open your eyes, you are in a completely different place, a grand hall filled with statues. Examine the statues. These statues depict rope figures, each holding an object: a sword, a book, and a lantern. A plaque beneath them reads, "Only wisdom lights the way." Touch the book-holding statue. The book-holding statue glows, and a small panel opens in the wall, revealing a golden key. Take the golden key. You take the golden key and return to the large door with 3 keyholes. Go to the door. You search for an exit and find a large door with 3 keyholes. If you have all 3 keys, silver, brass and golden, go to 25. The lock clicks open in the unison. The door creaks open, revealing a bright light. As you step through, you find yourself outside under a starry sky. The fresh air fills your lungs and you realize you've escaped. The end. And there you have it. We've created a fully functional gamebook engine in Python. But this is just the beginning. Think about the possibilities. You could add inventory system for a more complex gameplay. Implement character stats and skill checks for a more RPG-like experience. Create a visual interface, add sound effects, background music, for ambience. So go forward, create your stories and share them in the comments. I'll give you one to start, you'll find it in the description. That will be all for today. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw and want to see more in the future, hit the subscribe button. See you next time.